All right, guys, this is most confident picks for UFC 326, Oliveira versus Max Holloway 2. Last week in the Moreno Kavanaugh card, I went 3-2. I lost on Moreno, unfortunately, but I said that Kavanaugh was a much better mixed martial artist. I thought that the UFC fight being on short notice for Kavanaugh and the elevation and the way he gets tired would be an effect. But Brandon Moreno really didn't push a pace. I thought Kavanaugh was a much better mixed martial artist. But again, I thought those stipulations, those things between Kavanaugh being on short notice and the elevation would be a problem. It ended up not being a problem. So my bad. But I'm going to go 5-0 this week. Guaranteed 5-0 this week. Well, I hope. So like and subscribe to this channel. 300 subscribers. I'll try to get that by the end of March. Hopefully, if you guys can help me. Let's start. So you want to start with the main event? Let's start with a marquee fight, right? A marquee fight. I absolutely love, love. What's his name? Max Holloway. I love Max Holloway right here. I think Max Holloway is the side to take. I think Max Holloway is better striking by a lot. As the thing is, we haven't seen Max Holloway grapple that much, but I'm guarantee you. I mean, he's been in UFC for a while. You know, he's been showing up on his grappling forever, so you can't think that he's a bad grappler, right? And I think that Max Holloway, the one thing about him is he's good on having his back not on the fence. That's one good thing about him. I know we've seen him when Ilia Topuria rocked him, right? He's on the fence. We've seen him against Conor McGregor when he was young on the fence. We don't see him on the fence too much often though recently. He angles out beautifully. Everything, like, he doesn't go backwards anymore. Everything's a straight angle, and I think that's gonna be a problem for Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, you have to understand, he's the much slower. Even though Charles Oliveira is not that slow as a with hand speed, Max Holloway's hand speed is crazy fast. We saw it versus Justin Gaethje. We saw it versus Dustin Poirier in both fights for Dustin Poirier at 155. How big the hand speed difference was between it, right? And we saw it versus Justin Gaethje a lot. And Charles Oliveira, even though he is good, he does throw a nice combination. That 1-2-3 was nice versus Michael Chandler, right? In the first fight. We've seen those nice teep kicks. I think it's not enough against Max Holloway's speed. And the way that Charles Oliveira was crashing down on Gamrot too, we saw when Gamrot was just getting bullied out there by Charles Oliveira. If you can't bully Max Holloway like that, he's bullied Max Holloway like that. We saw what happened with a Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie was like, fuck it, I'm going forward now. We saw what happened with Korean Zombie. If Charles Oliveira has that same approach, the same thing's going to happen to Charles Oliveira. So I'm going to be taking Max Holloway to win this fight. I think he's a much better mixed martial artist on the feet, right? The better striker, the better kickboxer. Everything about the striking aspect, I think he's better than. On the ground, obviously, it's going to go to Charles Oliveira, but the wrestling will be a problem. Is Charles Oliveira a wrestler? No, not really. He's more of a body. He tries to do like clinches and body locks, and then that's basically what he tries to do. But I think that Max Holloway will get past that and do better than that. I'm gonna give you guys an underdog. I love this fight. Go meet Cody Durden versus this Asian guy. And I am Jaral Tumendemberal. I'm gonna call him NT. NT every single time because I don't want to keep on saying his name. Cody Durden is a much better fighter than NT. NT, he lost to Carlos Hernandez, man. That's a problem. Like, you can't lose to Carlos Hernandez in UFC. And I know you can say, oh, Carlos Hernandez is not that bad. Carlos Hernandez got dominated by Alan Nascimento, first round finish. Tatsu Taira dominated him, right? Ray Tatsura dominated him. Hyung Sung Park dominated him. Like, he is not a good fighter. He's not a good UFC caliber fighter. Like, he beat Victor Altamirano. Is Victor Altamirano a great guy, right? Is Daniel Barres a great fighter? No. Cody Durden, he's proved it against very capable opponents. We saw Cody Durden against guys like Matt Schnell, beat Matt Schnell, right? Beat Jake Hadley, beat Charles Johnson. He's beaten good caliber flyweights, while NT can't even beat Carlos Hernandez. And NT, I mean, he went back to the road to UFC, got a win over there again, Anaconda choke. But again, it's just like he's going against guys that are not UFC caliber opponents. I mean, there's so many Asian guys that we see they're coming in from road to UFC, coming in, and they don't do anything. And that's the problem. I think Cody Durden's a much better fighter. But him being an underdog is crazy. NT has good power on the feet, yes, but he's sloppy on the feet. He's easily taken down. He goes for a guillotine every single time he's taken down. And I think Cody Durden will be hip to that and be aware, just pass into side control, then take his back, mount him, whatever he wants to do. I mean, American wrestling is big compared to Asian wrestling. So not Japan wrestling either. So I'm gonna take Cody Durden right here as an underdog. I think he's gonna get it done. I think he's a much better mixed martial artist. I'm gonna take him. Right, I'm gonna take him pretty comfortably. Next, I'm taking Rafael Tobias versus Dr. Nurgozhay. Dr. Nurgozhay, I mean, he had a lot of hype going into him. He had a lot of hype coming in from the Dana White Contender Series. He finished his guy first round, but then we see him lose and then lose again. He lost to Ribeiro. Was it Ribeiro? Am I crazy? It was one of those. It was one of those guys. Dr. We saw him lost against guys that that are not UFC like UFC great opponents. Like we've seen him lose to, what was his name? Yeah, Brenson Ribeiro, Kimura, second round, easy Kimura. Then Uran Saltibadayev comes in and just freaking destroys him with an Ezekiel choke. It mounts him, does whatever he wants to him, smashes him. And I think that's a problem against a guy like Rafael Tobias, who has very, very good takedowns, very good wrestling, right? He has very good wrestling. He has 6 submission wins on his ledger. He finished his Dana White contender fight via rear naked choke. Him at minus 205 is a steal. It's a steal. Nurgozhay has okay power, right? But that's it. I mean, if you take him down, the fight's over. The fight's over, especially with Tobias' caliber. The fight will be over. I'm going to take Tobias to win this fight. I think he's better. I'll take him to win this fight pretty comfortably. Right, pretty comfortably. Next, I'm taking is Jung Young Lee. And I was shitting on the road to UFC, guys, and I'm picking Jung Young Lee. And I know he's lost 2 straight fights, right? I know he's lost 2 straight fights against Hyder Emil and then against somebody not even that good. He lost to, who was it? Why am I blanking on his name? Jung Young Lee. Where's this guy at? Am I crazy? Oh, here he is, right here. Jung Young Lee. He has a Daniel Santos and Hyder Emil. And Daniel Santos, he's a good fighter, right? He's an okay fighter. Okay, like he's a top 25, top 30, maybe like top 40 fighter. But Jung Young Lee lost to Hyder Emil and Daniel Santos. Gaston Bolanos is not a UFC caliber fighter. I mean, let's look at his ledger. Bosta Bang Lee beat Cortavius Romeus, who's awful, right? Awful. Marcus McGee, he only got in the UFC, let's be honest, because he changed at AKA, or he trained at AKA. Marcus McGee, right? Come on, he lost to him. Marcus McGee's a good opponent. He beat Aaron Phillips. Bro, come on. What are we talking about? So again, he's not a good UFC caliber fighter. I think Jung Young Lee's bigger, and he uses his bulliness in effect against a guy like Gaston Bolanos, who goes backwards a lot. People think he's a good kickboxer. I don't think he moves his head well at all. I don't think Bolanos moves his head well at all. I'm taking Jung Young Lee via KO. I think he's going to beat Bolanos. Jung Young Lee has very good low kicks, where we've seen Gaston Bolanos get hurt with it. I'm going to take him. I think he's going to win this fight. That's 4 people. I'm going to give you, should I give you another underdog? Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Gregory Rodriguez to win in the rematch between him and Ferreira. Ferreira beat him the first time on a that fluke KO, but where he was getting bullied out there and end up KOing him. Rodriguez really he wasn't on his P's and Q's, right? He wasn't just alert enough defensively to take over. So I'm gonna take Gregory Rodriguez to beat Bruno Ferreira. I think he's gonna bully him again. I think he's better everywhere. I think he's gonna implement the grappling. We've seen Ferreira struggle when there's grappling involved. We've seen Ferreira get tired when grappling's involved. I'll take Gregory Rodriguez to beat Bruno Ferreira. I think Ferreira will be much more patient, not as I don't really want him patient, though. I don't want him patient. I want him to be the same bully, but more alert defensively, especially on the cage, right? Don't be in his range with someone who has much shorter arms than you, much smaller frame than you. Get inside like that on you in boxing range. You need to keep him on the end of your punches in kicking range, where you're a much larger human being. That's what Gregory Rodriguez should do. I think he's going to win this fight versus Bruno Ferreira. I think he's a better mixed martial artist. I think he's better BJJ. I think he's better wrestling. I think he's better everywhere. So I'm going to take Gregory Rodriguez to win this fight. I think this line is mispriced just because of the KO win last time. Minus 198, minus 200 is not fair. I think it's a minus 300, minus 350 favorite. I'll take that. So again, retracking. I got Max Holloway beating Charles Oliveira. I have Cody Durden beating NT. Rafael Tobias beating Dr. Nurgozhay. Jung Young Lee beating Gaston Bolanos. And Gregory Rodriguez beating Bruno Ferreira. Those are my picks. right there. If you want another underdog pick, I'm sneaky. Is a sneaky pick is Cody Garbrandt to beat Long Zhao. Cody Garbrandt, I mean, Long Zhao is not a good. He's not a good mixed martial artist. He has decent power, but like that's it. I mean, he's sloppy on the feet. He's sloppy on the ground. His wrestling sucks. Cody Garbrandt's better than everywhere. More technical, faster. I'd probably take Cody Garbrandt in that fight. I think this line is really mispriced. But again, these are my 5 I'm most confident. I'm trying to go 5-0 for you guys. These are my five most confident plays right here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Thank you.